Going live on Twitter.
Hey,
What?
Twitter X 2024. What's up? What's up,
What's
everybody?
going
Welcome
on,
to another.
everybody? Happy New Year.
Yes, another 365. We got counting down. 2024 is getting off to a great start for some, and not so much to a great start for others. But I can say that Adulting WTF Academy, and we
Man,
are doing our thing, and we ain't missed a beat. So,
so
uh,
ain't. Hey, let me get some log ons real quick. But yeah, man, it's
yeah, bro.
it's a beautiful thing, man, with this New Year. Like people don't understand, but we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah, man, we always, there's always the New Year's resolutions, and we kind of touched on this last week, man, with the New Year, new me and everything, man. But we talked extensively about, really just becoming your best self and not always trying to reinvent yourself, because you are you for a reason. I am me for a reason, and everybody has their own particular attributes. So in today's talk, we may kind of veer off course, man, but we really want to talk about that goal setting and not necessarily focusing on revamping ourselves, but really, each individual person is, I always call us the CEO of our own life. So, if we have income and expenses and everything, and we're our own CEO, then that means we're our own business. So in that saying, we have to have our own goals. We have to have our own planning, just like any other business. So that said, we have to niche down and really figure out what it is us as a human business is good at doing. Like, what can we accomplish with our skills and attributes that we were born with? And how can we fine tune those skills and attributes to be able to not only make us some money, but also help us to be the most fulfilled that we can possibly be within our life, because we all know that it's really easy to make money, but it's hard to be fulfilled and to be happy while making that money. So yeah, we'll touch on a few things, but goals is huge in 2024.
Yeah, so again, everyone, welcome back. Welcome back. As you see in the subject line, this is episode 1/24. So we want to keep everything organized. We got a lot of big announcements coming. We're not going to announce them today. Today we still in the lab working out some of the details and what's coming, but stay tuned. Make sure you're sharing this out with your family, with your loved ones on your social media. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave us a comment. If you on X, Twitter, whatever it's called these days, follow us. Hey, it's a lot going on. It's your guy, Coach E, aka the better looking Fat Joe, with my guy Dmitri. I don't know. I ain't gonna do no AKA, but you look like a black Russian with that hat on today.
I got a Russian name, so it's fitting to have a Russian hat on. Hey man, it's cold out here in Atlanta, so I gotta stay warm.
It's cold in them there hills.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But no, you are like he was stating. I know a lot of us got resolutions and goals, and we should be in the planning stages right now. We should have been in the planning stages at the end of 23. It's all about plan, 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 plan. Like you can have goals and it looks real cute on paper, and be like, oh, I got my goals. I wrote them down, and hey, that's great. Good job. Now, a goal should trigger a plan every time. It's not a matter of just writing a goal down saying this is what I want to achieve and I want to do it by this date. That's the first step. That's critical. Yes, you need to do that. But that again should trigger the plan, how you going to do it. Not just what you want to do. That's cool by you acknowledging that and you saying, okay, this is what I want to do. But what is the plan to achieve it? And this is what a lot of people forget. They leave this part out. It's so critical to achieving what you want to do. And I'm gonna niche it down even more. But I know my guy, Coach Dmitri. I mean, I tell him all the time, I have to pull on his brains because he got that millennial brain that goes beyond these old Gen Xers. I got a few loose screws, some unscrewed. So, I got to lean on him to keep me solid. But, these goals, you all like 2024 should be your greatest year ever. And if you look back, you probably had some fantastic years. Fantastic. Right now, oh, this is the season of success. 2024. This generation is the season of success because there are no questions that you can't get answered. There's no secrets. There's no, like, it's all out there for you to be successful in 2024, even more than I know we did a lot in 2023. But 2024 is going to be even more dope, even more successes, more impact, a better version of you. I'm going to talk about that, but I don't want to steal all the time because I value what Coach Dmitri says. And I know that brain of his is working on some things. Reg, what's going on, my
What's
guy?
up, my brother?
We got to get Reggie on here, man. Like, we're going to
Yeah.
schedule it out, Reggie. We got to get the triple OG, triple double, my guy, my man.
Reggie, Miss Chrissy, what's going on,
New York
Queen?
City. I know he got some big goals popping, but so let me ask you this, Coach Dmitri, and this is for all the people viewing us: is what is it about the first of the year, in your opinion, does it make people want to create resolutions that they didn't create in the summertime? In the, what is it about it being new, the new year, that seems to make everyone want to go to the gym? When you had all of 2023 to go to the gym, but you waited until the first of the year, which shout out to everybody that's in the gym. Yes, I see you out there doing your thing. Keep it up. Stick to it. But it's something mental, spiritual, emotional that happens around the first. And I think everyone really needs to understand what's going on. And I know you got something for us.
Yeah, that's a really great question. And so I would just keep it simple, man. I honestly do believe that people, for the most part, are followers. They just love to follow trends. I mean, just really keep it like very cut and dry. I mean, people, if you think about the essence of our society, like if you look on Twitter, they have a whole section of trending, and that thing changes constantly, and like there's always different trends that people like to jump on for different reasons. But there's also these traditional trends, like the different holidays like July 4th, Christmas, Easter, that people tend to buy into because they're tradition, or they just don't want to feel left out. But also, I mean, people do tell themselves that, hey, because it's a new year, it's going to be a new me. So people tend to tell themselves that, hey, it's a new year. I know last year I said I was going to do X, Y, and Z. I didn't do it. So this is like a new calendar year, even though, it's pretty much the same day that they've been living for the past 10 plus years. They tell themselves that because the calendar says a different set of numbers, then they should act different or attempt to act different. But the problem with that is that I honestly believe that the reason why the resolutions and people don't stick to the resolutions is simply because they don't really believe that they're capable of changing. They don't really have the plan in place, like you were talking about, creating that plan. They may have the goals, but like we said last week, they don't have the values in place. They don't have the structure. They don't have the actions that they need to take laid out in order for them to get to their goals. So if their goal is to, lose X amount of pounds, their values are not in alignment. So come New Year's, they may jump into the gym, going hard on that treadmill for a couple of weeks, get sore and burn out because they haven't set up those values in their mind, such as eating properly, getting enough sleep, making sure that, they're cooking more than they're eating out, making sure that, they're doing the small things that lead up to that big goal. So all in all, I think people kind of get stuck on those dates and everything because they could change any day that they want to, right? But in their mind, they have to do something different on the first because of whatever trend, whatever tradition there it has always been. They just want to kind of stay relevant in that aspect. So
and like you say, it's trendy. and it's in your face. New, and everybody's doing it. Let's all jump on the bandwagon. Let's all do it. And here's what I'm gonna drop this one gem on you all, because let's change the annual. Let's change the annual, because we wait for the new year. There's a book out there called The 12-Week Year. The 12-Week Year. That's the name of the book. Dope book. You should go out there and get it. But what it does is it gives you 4 New Years. Think about that. Think if you got to celebrate the New Year's 4 times in a calendar. Think of how often, because what do we do at the end of the year? What we do is we assess. We look at our previous year and we make adjustments. As King Reggie stated, we don't do resolutions, we do goals. If you're doing a resolution, you're resolving something from the past that didn't go right. If you're setting a goal, then you're creating something new for the new year. And what I say is I'm big on goals. Everybody should have goals. But again, the goal has to trigger a plan. If you're not planning, then your goals will not succeed. If you're not planning, as Coach Dmitri so eloquently said, if you're not planning your meal prep, if you're not planning your supplements, your vitamins, your gallon of water a day, and setting up, because what are we talking about, you all? What does goals trigger? Daily habits. You cannot achieve a goal if you don't change your daily habits. And we want to say, yeah, I'm going to do this in a year. I'm going to do this even in the 12 weeks. What if you say, I just want to do this for one day? Now I want to do it for 2 days. I might be able to get a whole weekend. If you get a weekend, you say, you know what, this week, it's been going, and then you can't constantly win every single day. Now you're creating a daily habit. Now you're not putting it off until the end of the year to make some adjustments like most businesses do when they do their annual planning. So much time is wasted with annual planning. If you're doing that, stop doing it. Because here's why. Within 12 weeks, if you change your daily habits, then what you plan for the rest of the year is changed. So all that time you spent on, I got to make sure and I got to engineer this for the whole year. Man, you have a big 12 weeks. You can knock everything you had annually planned in that 12 weeks. And now you're sitting right there like, nah, what I do with the next 3 quarters? So you don't have to plan it annually. Plan it in 12-week chunks. Some call it quarterly planning. But you can still break that thing down. And if you really want to go hard, oh boy, if you really want to go hard, break the 12 weeks down into a month planning. Plan for the month. And then the max out, the ones that really go crazy, they plan it for the week. And they look at their week and be like, did I maximize my week? Did I go hard for the whole week? Forget what the year is. Who cares about that? Did you do what you need to do for this week? Oh, and then you got the 1%ers, and they do every single day. They don't wait to measure 7 days, 30 days, 12 weeks. They measure every single day. How do they do that? By having journals. Writing down every day, what did I do? But before they even do their journal in the morning, they set attentions for that day, not for the week, for today. What am I going to do? And once you get into that mindset and that becomes a habit, whoo!
Yes, sir. And then, let me butt in real quick, because what you said was loaded with a lot of things that need to be unpacked. So, y'all, this 12-week year that Coach E was speaking of, what this is going to do is not only is it going to fast track you to your goals and actually make them more manageable and more bite-sized, but what it's also going to do is expose you. It's going to expose you to yourself, because you're no longer able to hide behind the entire year. Now you're going to be holding yourself accountable every 12 weeks to be able to hit those smaller goals that you set for yourself, right? So if you are more of a talker than a doer, it's going to really be exposed to you during this 12-week planning process, because not only you're no longer setting an annual goal for you to lose 50 pounds. Now you're setting a quarterly goal for you to lose 5 or 8 pounds. Now that's more attainable for you. Now that removes all the excuses.
Yes.
Right. So, this is more than just fast tracking your goals. It's really setting up an auto accountability process for you, and really just putting it right in your face, because it's only so much that we can realistically achieve in 12 weeks, right? So you're going to set your goals in accordance with those 12 weeks. So if you don't hit them, then you really have to really look at yourself in the mirror and be like, did I really do everything I could in these 12 weeks? And if the answer is no, there's no one to blame but you. But it also makes it more achievable, because it's not this big elephant that you have to eat at one time. Now you're breaking it down to bite-sized chunks.
Man, who eat elephant? Man, everybody keeps saying they're eating the elephant in one bite. Boy, look, I don't know about you, but that ain't on my menu. It ain't on something I wonder what an elephant tastes like. I'm good. Yeah. It may be people that eat them. I know lions and, there's a bunch of things, but I don't know. I ain't seen elephant on no doggone menu, but I know where you got it from. Yeah. People say it all the time. And I be wondering, that's just like, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Who's skinning cats?
Ain't nobody. I ain't just skinning my doggone cat.
Man. Who's skinning a doggone cat? That's just mean. But you say these cliches all the time, and we're having fun with this. But what Coach Dmitri said is so spot on, because as he stated, most businesses and people will wait till the end of the year and try to cram it. Have you ever worked in a business and had a job or a corporation when they're like, oh, it's the end of the year, we got to cram, we got to do all this, we got to work all these extra hours, and we got to make sure, because they didn't do none of that the first 3 quarters. They waited till the end of the year, and now they're slamming their workers. The workers are getting, people, if you look at the statistics, more people commit suicide and are diagnosed as depressed during November and December. And you would think, man, you got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas, we got New Year's. Look at the stats you are. Why? Because the jobs, the taxes are coming up when you could have paid your taxes quarterly and you put it off, especially for entrepreneurs. You should have been on top of those taxes. Now you're trying to catch up with all your expenses. We're doing all of this within the last 2 months of the year, when we could have did it in chunks and broke it down and made it where it's a little more cheap. You might say, I want to be a millionaire. And I think we all should want to be a millionaire. Like, nobody should. The people say, well, money ain't that important to me. I know one thing, the lack of money is very important to me, because I don't ever want to lack it. So you might think, oh, it ain't that important, but the lack of it is, because who want to go without that? I mean, we live in a world where it's needed. But again, I don't want to talk about money. That's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the goals and breaking these things down into chunks. So say you even have a 2-year goal. I'm not against it. You can have a 5-year, 10-year, lifetime goal. I have a goal to impact 1 billion people plus. I cannot get that done in 12 weeks. But I can break that thing down into chunks and measure and say, for this first 12 weeks, let me see how many people I can impact. Take a week off at the end of the, 3-4 days into that 12 weeks and be like, how well did I do? What can I do better? And then make another plan for the next 12 weeks and keep it going that way, so you will be able to adjust more than just once a year. And that's where we're going with this New Year's, new goals and new resolutions, is people get caught up on and oftentimes never achieve their goals. They might have a few wins, but they're not achieving their goals. And what I tell people is to break it down into your daily habits, because here's what's going to happen when you do this. I promise you all this, if I've never given you any type of wisdom at all, please write this down, jot this down. In 2024, your number one goal should be the best version of you that you've ever seen. Like, I want a new house. I want a new car. I want a new spouse. Hopefully not a new spouse. I want a new job. I want a new this. I want a new that. I want a new you. I want a new me. And it's not even the fact of new. We're just using that term. It's an enhancement of you because you are who you are. But guess what? You can raise your value. You can increase your knowledge. You can increase your discipline, your dedication, your determination. You can increase these things. And guess what will happen? I promise you this. If you do these things, every single thing around you will get better. Not just one goal, not just two goals, not just the car, not just the house, not just the job. Everything that you touch, everything that touches you will improve by you simply improving you and being the best version of you. People at the gig, at the churches, at the in the houses, all the friends and family members. What's your goal? What's your goal? I said, my goal is to be the best version of Ernest that this world has ever seen. Because I know what's going to happen from that. I can't control what the market says. I can't control what poverty and recession and the money values and real estate values and tax. I can't control none of that. But my goal is to get this guy together to where when you see, you're going to be like, oh, every day in every way, he gets better and better. Not the market gets better and better. Me. Because I dictate what happens around me when I focus on me. When I focus on all the other things, all I'm going to be is frustrated and stressed because you cannot control it like you can control you. And I got ways. I'm going to slow down and let Dmitri jump in here. I got a few tips. So hold on, you all. We about to wrap up, but hold on because I got a few tips and tricks on how to make you the best you ever for 2024.
Hey, and one way to do that is hit us up in our DMs right here, right now. If it's on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you're looking at this video, hit us up in our DMs if you want more information about what we have going on here at Adulting WTF Academy. More specifically to the parents, the adults, we would like to give y'all the opportunity to ask for a free copy of the Adulting book, just so y'all can get more information about how you can build that relationship with your teenager, so y'all can, grow together, and so you can, create the best version of your teenager that you know that they could be. Because, at the end of the day, the material things are all great. We can acquire all the things that we want on this earth, but we can also lose them, right? So we want to make sure that we're creating enough value for ourselves and bigging ourselves up to the point where even if we lose everything, God forbid, we're a person of value who can always replicate that process again and get those material things back. Because like E said, during the holiday season, people tend to go through depression, all types of mental, things that they're dealing with because they can't acquire the physical gifts and everything that they feel like they should be giving around that time. We should also always be giving year round. But my entire point is that if you have any resolution, any goal for 2024, is to become a person who can acquire the same things over and over again, even if they lose it, because that means that you're a person of value and that money doesn't make you, but you're the person that's going to be making the money. So yeah, go ahead with your tips, E.
Absolutely, man. No, I couldn't have said that any better, you all. Because life stuff gonna happen, you all. We gonna have some losses. The great Les Brown said you're gonna fail your way to success. And when I thought about it, I was like, man, I don't want to fail. But you are going to fail your way to success because everything is not going to work in our favor.
Yeah.
But if you look at it the correct way, it's truly working in our failure, in our favor, because you learn from mistakes. Now, that's not the only way you can learn. As I always state, you can be very wise and learn from other people's mistakes. And a lot of the mistakes that I made are in that Adulting WTF, What's the Formula book, where it's 5 ways to help your team become independent. Things that I didn't do as a dad, things that I didn't do as a teenager, or in that book that can really help you catapult and take your child to the next level, because we all want our babies to be successful. But this thing called adulting, man, it's people. It's a guy right here in his late 30s. In his late 30s, still learning how to adult. What you laughing at, Dmitri, man? I am in my late 30s.
I thought you was talking about me.
You know, I'm lying on me. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I'll lie for you. Hey, but no, seriously, you all, we struggle with adulting. You parents know that. It's some things that we wasn't taught in school, in college. Hey, life gonna teach you some things, and life has taught us some things, and that's what we're here for, is to give back to the parents, to give back to the teens, to empower these teens. Wait till you see what we got coming. Ooh wee! Hey, we're taking our time. We want to make sure we do it right, but we got some special things coming, you all, that truly involves the teens, and you're gonna see. Just continue to support us. Share this out. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Make sure you give us a like, give us a comment. Share this out with someone who doesn't know about us, because they need to know about us. Things are just moving in a trajectory that's so great, and our impact is increasing. But I said I was going to give you all a couple of gems on how you can become the best you. And you might want to write this down, because don't trust, number one, don't trust your brain to be your memory bank, because it forgets. You want to trust your head now. Oh, I remember that, and forget. How many times we've been to a conference and heard something outstanding, then write the notes down 2-3 days later. You like, man, I remember he said something. She said something. I can't even remember what she said, but it was dope. I remember because I was white, but you ain't take no notes. Write your notes down, you all. And number one, here's what I tell everybody to do to become the best version of you. Get into the books. Like, read as many books. Read all the books if you can. And we know that's impossible. Read as many books on what you want to do, where you, if it's real estate, if it's insurance, if it's money, if it's mindset, if it's being a carpenter, a plumber, whatever it is, you might want to fix boats. I don't care what it is. Read. If you don't know how to read, get the Audible app and listen. You can still consume the knowledge, but don't just read anything. And I'm reading World Star and reading Playboy and not that type of junk. We ain't talking about that type of reading. Be focused in on what you want to do. And once you figure out where you want to go and what you want to do, get the books. Get as many books as you can get. Go to the library. Most library cards, what they cost, like $10 a year. Like, them things so cheap, you can go to the library for nothing. Like, they give away books. Like, we give away books. All you got to do is DM us, and we got a book right now. You can read on your phone. Won't cost you a dime. And in a couple of weeks, we'll have it where you can listen to it on your phone, and it won't cost you a dime. So we have different versions of the same books that will help you. So number one, get your books. Get to reading your books. And once you start consuming these, now number two, and this is one that's going to be tough for a lot of people. Number two, this daily habit. Everything we're talking about is a daily habit. So remember that. Number two is use your imagination, you all. Like, I want you all to think big. Imagine yourself doing something big. If you don't see yourself doing nothing big, you ain't gonna do nothing big. Mm-hmm. I know that sounds slow. Like, huh? If you don't see yourself doing anything big, you won't. Mm-hmm. So, and you may say, well, I don't know what big look like. Here's a quick tip. For that number two, with using your imagination, make a list. Write a list down of everything you want to do, everywhere you want to go, everybody you want to meet. If you had a magic wand, write down every vehicle you want. If you're into helping people, every shelter, you might want to speak at the United Way. If you want to be a speaker, what stage do you want to be on? If you want to be an author, do you want to be a New York Times bestseller? What do you look like? And write that list out of things that you want. And once you get that written out, then you can look at your list and be like, oh, okay, now your imagination is going to start kicking in. Like, do you see yourself being a New York Times bestseller? What do I look like being a New York Times bestseller? How does my book look? What does the list look like? You might have to do some research and go look at New York Times bestsellers, and they'll give you a list of how they list the books, how they rank them, what do they say about them. And now you start seeing your book on that bookshelf. And we're just using the speakers. You want to see the most dynamic speakers? Go look at Tony Robbins. Go look at Ed Millett. Go look at, it's a bunch of them out there. Just Google the top speakers. These people are getting paid $20,000 to $30,000 for a 30-minute keynote. Man, let me tell you.
They providing crazy value. That's what we're talking about. Providing value for yourself, upping your value.
Up in the value. They read all the books. So number two, as I stated, use your imagination by creating a list of everything that you want, everywhere you want to go, things that you want to achieve. Make a list, man. Have fun with it. Like, and cap it at 50. Say, I'm gonna write 50 things. And if you can't stop, then do 100. Do however many, but at least do 50. If you can't do 10. Write these things down, because now you're starting to paint a picture. You're starting to see where you want to go in life. Not what you got, but what you want. And once you use this imagination, now you say, let me study, find somebody to model. This is number three. Find you a model, not for you to copy what they do. I don't want you to be a follower. I want you to be a student. Find someone that's close to where you want to be, because remember, you're one of one. So you can't be nobody else, even if you try. But you can find somebody to model, and find somebody that you look up to, and you say, you know what? I like the way they get down. I like how she do this. I like how she do that. Study that person. Study their habits. Study what they're reading. They normally put out lists. They might have their own books. Most of them do. Study them if they're close to where you want to be. We don't have to reinvent the wheel, you all. A lot of times we live in this gray space where we don't know what we want to be, where we want to go, how we want to. Then the days of not knowing is over. If you tell me you don't know, and that's just because you don't want to know. So those are my three things. I know they sound simple. Get the books, use your imagination, and find you somebody to model how they speak, how they dress, how they, like, and we ain't trying to keep up with the Joneses. That ain't what I'm telling you to do, because most people that are on that level, they don't care nothing about the Joneses anyway. Don't get caught up on these IG rich folks that's going to be broke in a few years. Hopefully they won't. Hopefully they're wising up. But that's not what success looks like, you are. Because if you truly look at the ones that are successful, they are not rocking the Lambos and wearing $150,000 watches and things like that, unless they're on the billionaire status. And name me one billionaire that does that. Look at Jigga. When he was a millionaire, you saw him with the goals, and when he became a billionaire, what he look like now? In a t-shirt and jeans. He might put on a piece, and it ain't like he ain't got them, but he knows that ain't even no big deal. So make sure you understand who you're studying, and that there's someone of value, and there's someone that you can really look up to and model some of the things that they do. They may put a workout on there that they do, eating habits that they do. Look at ways. I mean, success leaves clues, you all. And that's what I'm saying. Focus on the success and watch you become the most successful that you've ever been in 2024. I guarantee it. Guarantee.
Hey, Mike Drop. Appreciate that, Coach E, for taking us out on those very inspirational words of wisdom. Hey, y'all, today has been another WTF live stream Wednesday. And before I close this out with my outro, I want to end y'all off with, so I'm not going to sing it or rap this in the way that I wrote it down, but I want to kind of say it in like a poem format. It's a song that I wrote called Affirmations. And if y'all don't do anything this year, just speak positivity over yourself. If what we explained to you all is too much for you to transform yourself overnight or over 12 weeks or over a year, just at least make it a goal of yours, a resolution of yours to speak positive affirmations over yourself every single day, because we unconsciously speak negativity over ourselves without even realizing it. So make it a conscious effort to speak positivity over yourself. And this is a song that I wrote called Affirmations. And it goes, every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. I'm going to go do what it takes because I am a go-getter. I will overcome any challenge to get to the next level. You know, I dropped them gems, so put down your shovel. Let's collaborate and not compete. This is not a war of me versus you or you versus me. In fact, the real enemy is the one we can't see, that plant seeds of doubt, hoping that it grow to a tree, bearing fruit that we know is no good to eat. Generational curses are broken with me. All right, y'all. Until next Wednesday, we will see y'all later. Have a great week.
Hey, go out and watch the replay on YouTube, the WTF Men's Academy. The replay of this will be out there. If you missed anything, if you want to share it with anybody, we'll have it out there on YouTube. It'll be live in a few minutes. You'll see it's the episode 1 for 2024. And my guy just dropped bars on us, man. We got a young Talib Kweli up in here. You know, he's like coming with it.
Hey, let's get it. Hey, a great 24, y'all. Appreciate y'all for attending. We'll see y'all next week. Have a good one.
Peace.